was one of the skill required previously. Now it doesn't. It has disappeared from the top 10 skill required for the students. Emotional intelligence, which about 3 years back in the top skill required by the students, has become top three skill required for the students. So creativity, active learning, and of course the emotional intelligence will be the three skills required for the students to become innovative. Friends, take chances. Don't be afraid of failures. If you are not prepared to be wrong, then you will never come up with the origin part of it. Everybody is a part of it. Society is creative because everybody wants only three things: success, success, and success. And nobody teaches us. We have been never taught how to face the failures. They're not prepared or educated to accept the failures, and that is the biggest. I mean, as to be considered as the biggest blunder in our. I was reading somewhere कि जब गूगल का या माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का जो सीईओ होता है, I mean, Atul can help me with that. तो उनके इंटरव्यू में सवाल क्या पूछा जाता है? भाई फॉर्मूले तो पूछे नहीं जाते होंगे, हाँ, मैथ्स, साइंस, फिजिक्स, ये तो ऐसे क्या चीज पूछी जाती है और उनका सिलेक्शन हो जाता है? तो पढ़ रहा था, उनको यही पूछा जाता है कि अगर कंपनी फेल होगी, अगर कंपनी डूब गई, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू रिवाइव दैट? एंड द बेस्ट फेलो, द बेस्ट आंसर ऑलवेज becomes the CEO of the organization. So we are taught or educated how to deal with failure. So that's very important lesson to learn. So dear students, I hope and look forward to seeing you all contributing to India's innovation and making India in top 10 from present top 50. So friends, think differently, think innovation, and think out of box. I'll give you an example. Let me also share with you that we are also funding startups. You can visit our website on the website of Ministry of Finance. So we have started funding startups. You can also be a part of that. So when I say think differently, think innovation and out of box thinking, I'll give you an example. Hope I have time to say. So there is a company called Kalishe. There's a startup company by name Kalishe. You can just Google that. So there were two very young petrochemical engineers. That startup was not funded by us, but the other startup which they have asked for, we have funded. But we came to know about this company. Two very young petrochemical engineers. There is a see when you go for the oil exploration, of the oil, a lot of sand comes along that. I don't know whether you know it. So they say the whole of the world, whole of the globe, was working how to filter out that sand. So they had filters. They were working on how to increase the life of the filters, how to increase the efficiency of the filters. So the whole globe was working on it. These two engineers, when I say out of box thinking, they developed a chemical that was a microbiological chemical. They said, why can't we think at the first place that when the oil comes out, when you check out the oil, there should not be any sand. Can we fix the sand? They developed a chemical. 7 days before, you have to pour it in the oil well and the sand gets out. That is out of box thinking. You have to think differently if you have to become innovative. When you think differently, there are good chances of failures. That's why I say don't be afraid of failures because they say fail is the first attempt in learning. That is how I wanted to share this example with you. If every young Indian scientist, engineer, and entrepreneur commits to innovation and leadership, India will not just compete with the world, it will lead the world and, of course, will become Vishwaguru once again. I see a galaxy of innovators before me, and it fills me with the hope of bright future for our country. दोस्तों याद रखो, that's my advice to you. Whatever happens in life happens for good in long term and of course not in short. That's a positive thinking you have to have that will sail through all the odds. एक छोटी सी कहानी शेयर करता हूँ. आप लोगों ने भी सुनी होगी. एक राजा थे, राजा कुछ काम कर रहे थे. उनकी उंगली कट गई। जब उनकी उंगली कट गई तो उनके मंत्री जी थे, उनका पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग था, तो बोले सर जो हुआ अच्छा हो। राजा ने एक लाइन दिया, उन्होंने मंत्री जी की पिटाई लगाई, मुझे खत्म कर दिया। उसके बाद राजा एक दिन शिकार खेलने के लगे, खेलते खेलते अपनी सेना से पीछे लगे, बहुत आगे निकल गए। कोई कबीले वाले थे, उन्होंने राजा को पकड़ लिया। राजा को पकड़ लिया, तो कुछ फंक्शन होगा, बोले चलिए आपको मालूम मिल गया, इसकी को बलि चढ़ा। राजा जी को पकड़ा, बंदा बंदा गया, बलि चढ़ाने की तैयारी हुई, पूजा की गई, पर उंगली नहीं। तो कबीले वालों ने बोला नहीं, हम खंडित मानव की बलि नहीं चढ़ाते, उनको छोड़ दिया। राजा की क्या सोच, मंत्री जी की जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है। वापस आ गए, मंत्री जी को तुरंत जेल से बाहर निकाला, बोले आपने जो सही बोला था मैं उसको सपोर्ट करता हूँ, सारे अच्छे के लिए होता है, और मेरी बिल्ली कटी, बहुत अच्छी बात हुई, आज मेरी जान बची। और मेरे लिए तो, पर आपका क्या अच्छा हुआ, आप तो जेल में चले गए। बोले सर ये भी मेरे लिए भी बहुत अच्छा हुआ राजा जी, अगर उस दिन मैं जेल में नहीं होता तो मैं आपके साथ होता, आपको छोड़ के मेरी बलि चढ़ गई होती। तो ऐसे and all the odds. So just remember, during every struggle, there is a chance waiting to be seized. It's all about how we play our cards, turn those hurdles into stepping stones. बोलते हैं ना कि ख्वाब जिनके ऊंचे और मस्त होते हैं, ख्वाब जिनके ऊंचे और मस्त होते हैं, इम्तिहान भी उनके जबरदस्त। Friends, all the developments around us proves that India is not just dreaming big, it's turning those dreams into reality. This is Amrit Kal, time for India to rise as a global leader in science, technology, and development. So let's pledge to empower ourselves, embrace science, and build a Viksit Bharat by 2047. That science as a weapon of knowledge, progress, and of course, global leadership of Asia Group. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with that, I once again wish you all the best for your future endeavors and my best wishes and blessings for your successful career and meaningful life. खत्म करने के पहले चार लाइन, मेरी फेवरेट लाइन सुनाना चाहूंगा, बहुत अच्छी लगती है, मैं चाहता हूँ शुड गेट इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम दिस, कि सूरज जैसा बनना है तो सूरज जैसा चलना है, सूरज जैसा बनना है तो सूरज जैसा चलना होगा, नदियों से आगर पाना है तो पर्वत छोड़ देना, नदियों से आकर पाना है तो पर्वत छोड़ निकलना होगा। और हम आदम के बेटे हैं, और हम आदम के बेटे हैं, तो क्यों सोचे राह सरल होगा, तो क्यों सोचे राह सरल होगा, कुछ ज्यादा वक्त लगेगा, और संघर्ष जरूर सफल होगा, हर संकट का हल होगा, आज नहीं तो। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. There are so many takeaways in this lectures. What to quote and what not to quote. But yes, the pledge of making this India a five-star, converting or taking the position from 69 to 39 to first, making India not just with 130 unicorns, but more than 1,000 unicorns from this point, from 2025 to 2047. So many takeaways. Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful and sensitive data. Now it's our honor to felicitate Dr. Anupam sir with a shawl and shriffle. I request Dr. Atul Vaidya sir to do the honors, please. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, we now come to the next highlight of our program, Srimati T. Bahinabai Lecture Series, in the memory of late Sri Srimati T. Bahinabai, the wife of late Sri Lakshminarayan Rao Bahadur Lakshminarayan. who generously donated his land for the establishment of this prestigious university. This lecture series is a tribute to her legacy, and we are proud to host renowned and experienced luminaries who will share their knowledge and insights with us. Through this series, we aim to provide a platform for our students to learn from the best minds in the field and to inspire them to achieve excellence in their pursuit. Over the years, we have had a privilege of hosting many esteemed speakers who have enlightened us with their expertise and experience. Today's lecture is yet another opportunity for us to gain the valuable knowledge and insights. These initiatives aim to encourage intellectual discussions, recognize excellence in the scientific discourse, and inspire future generations to contribute meaningfully in the field of science. And we are more than honored to have Professor P.K. Khanna sir with us to deliver this lecture. It's an honor to have P.K. Khanna sir as a guest speaker for this series. And to introduce Dr. P.K. Khanna sir, I request Dr. Joglekar sir to come up the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is an honor to introduce someone who is an authority in the domain of nanotechnology. Professor Khanna did his undergraduate and post-graduation from Uttarakhand University, Jhansi in chemistry and PhD from IIT Bombay in the year 1990. He is working as senior professor and dean student affairs at Defense Institute of Advanced Technology. He is also former head of Department of Applied Chemistry, former controller of examination, and former director incubation at DIIT Pune. Before joining DIIT, he has served as scientist E at Center for Materials for Electronics Technology. He has also been listed in the top 2% scientists in the world in material science domain. He has worked a podcast fellow of DST, Government of India, at University of St Andrews, Scotland, UK. He also has a postdoc experience at Queen's University of Belfast and University of Wales, Swansea, United Kingdom. He has worked as expert group member of Department of Biotechnology (DBT) of Government of India and Core Committee of Nanobiotechnology. He has supervised more than 80 students, with 9 students have been awarded PhD and 4 are pursuing. He has undertaken projects close to 7 crores in value and has authored about 234 research articles in peer-reviewed journals and has also 9 patents to his credit. He is also a fellow of Maharashtra Academy of Science. In total, he's got a total citations of 8,342 with an H index of 46 and S10 index of 143. His major research areas include organoselenium chemistry, nanoparticles for biomedical applications, applied research and development in selenium and tellurium, and ternary chalogenides for energy applications, quantum dots, and magic size nanocrystals for semiconductors, defense chemistry, R&D in organic and polymer nanocomposites, and nanoinks for electronics and nanofluids for engineering applications. So it is an honor to have you deliver a lecture. We invite you to please.
So, first of all, good morning to all of you. Good afternoon now. Thank you, my dear friend, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Agnihotri and Agnihotri sir. And here I see that somebody from, the family of Sri Lakshmi Narayan ji and other faculty members sitting here and the dignitaries as well as my dear students. What can I say? This is an honor to be here on a Science Day celebration. I have visited Nagpur in the past on many occasions, but this is my first visit to your institute. And while my dear friend here, I hope that I will make it quite regularly. See how best we can say. That is what is the motto. Me coming here and giving lecture is not very we were talking in the morning for brief interaction that can we try to see how students can gain knowledge, what we possess and which we have attained in the last 30, 40 years. Can we transmit it to you at a faster speed rather than giving lectures and then try and take time. That much time is not there in hand. Compete in the world, you have lesser time. The technology is changing every 6 months. Uh, if we are very relaxed, it may be changing in a month. That is late. So in that sense, a lot of new science and technology is happening. I'm honored to be part of your lecture series of Vina my lecture series. With due respect to the entire family members who created this institute. It's a rich history. Read the book, and I was told by my colleagues and friends here, 1930, 40, somewhere it started, 1942 stones. What a pleasure to be talking in such a place which is close to 100 years, 90 years institute, 85-year-old. Soon, in next decade, you will be celebrating 100 years celebration. So, four institutes actually are the founding nurturing institute for modern civilization. 100 years before, India was different. I cannot visualize how it meet. You know, the last 40 years, 50 years, I have seen myself how it is changed. Those days are over when we were standing in the queue of the railway track, railway station, and buying the ticket. Those days are over when we had the money in our pocket. 1 rupee coin, 50 paisa coin. Those ones. Everything today is happening through the online and through the Google Pay, Paytm, and all kind of UPIs. I thought I will not be able to learn it because it was completed 5 years ago. Right? Very happy to feel that okay, in next 5 years I'll retire. Why to worry? Today I don't have money. I have the mobile. Which I don't have. But I have to lose money. And I'm very good at it. I never think that I can learn it so well. But unless you try what Agnihotri was trying to tell you, teaching yourself. You might fail. But unless you try, you will never fail. So one more addition to his quote is try to fail to see whether you can fail. If you cannot fail, that means the whole thing is done. Nobody would love to do. Everybody wants to succeed. So somehow you will succeed. I think I'm part of that generation. I don't consider I'm too old still because I play cricket. Last week I was bowling. And I hit boundary as well. Right? And I was playing with my young friends who were 25-year-old. There was a professional competition. My institute, uh, there was a sports festival in which 32 sports were organized. I participated in two of them, the table tennis. And so what gave me the message from that event for myself, being a dean student affairs, I was lost. So obviously the student must have put the loose bowling. I might have hit the boundary. But perhaps it was not true and everybody realized that I still have some potential left. So I continue more. So that is a kind of a desire I think I have to contribute more. Message, innovation, science, technology, Atmanirbhar Bharat, growth, Viksit Bharat, all that is not dominating requirement and statement and the actions. It's the action-packed life today. Everywhere I see a lot of development has taken place in the last 10, 15 years, which perhaps we were not visualizing it. We were happy to be sitting in some locality where one auto rickshaw is moving, we are okay. And sometimes if you are having some more luxury and upper class feeling, one taxi may be happening. One private taxi, some travel agent, Today, these taxis are roaming around. And midnight yesterday, I was traveling from my home to about 3 o'clock in the morning. I calculated right because normally I sleep. So midnight for me. And 3 o'clock, within 4 minutes, taxi wala was no struggle whatsoever. I took my taxi myself. In fact, my wife was not very confident that I can do it. So she was mentioning humorously, perhaps are being more concerned, saying that should I ask my son to book a taxi? I said, excuse me, he's in the hospital somewhere, another institute. What are you trying to think? No, what I'm trying to say is, it is such a wonderful society which is being created today, which is at par with very developed world. I have been to many places and foreign countries. I've been in England for many years, few years, enough years, without giving me a chance to continue. I decided to come back. Many IITians have those kind of feeling when they are studying, similar to what you may be having now. You know, we are looking towards growth. We want to fly high. We want to go and win and conquer. So we also got our chance and landed up in England after doing PhD from IT Bombay. There we realized, what am I doing in England? Why not I do that in India? Those feelings will come, those emotions will be, dominating. And when you have to make a decision, today you want to go back. If you don't go today, you will never go. So I was in those situations. Honestly, I took a call and let me go back after some years. Many of my friends and our Indian friends with their vice chancellor, they are settled abroad and all. That's fine. Choice has to be made. So you will make choice now what you want to do. Entrepreneurship, you want to be working with somebody, you want to be job seeker, or you want to be job provider. There are big things coming up. You don't have to worry about looking for a job. You can create jobs. This is what the message coming from the government and the society and the people to see Viksit India. If you will all be working only, who will give the job? Me also, it looks like it is a wonderful philosophy, practice, and it is possible. So startup people, you know, one person or two people come together, they create some startup. I was the chairman for incubation at my institute for a long time, created policies, motivated students. The idea was with 50% placement record suppose. What other 50% taught me? They want to do something. They cannot just regret saying I didn't get a job. My education was not good. Maybe my college was not. Maybe my parents didn't give me some enough support. Maybe I was not smart enough. That all feeling is not required at all. Once you are being educated in the same place, you're all equal. The credit, the choice-based credit system today, percentage is eliminated. How beautiful is that? I was dying to see 60%, 60%. Now A, B, C, D grades are there. So grade means 70% fellow and 79% fellow will get the same grade. So you don't have to worry. You can't understand. I mean, you should not try to understand who is better than who. Everybody is equal in that sense, unless you have much of that difference. So what is the message coming is there is enough opportunity to those 50% not secure the job to get into creating the job. You will get. Okay, today innovation, and Since science and technology, we will talk about little bit for the next. How much time you want to listen? 45 minutes. He says sugar problems. So that was like from much top people. So I cannot criticize that. But what a sweet feeling that 55 minutes if sugar is generated, I would love to continue to sit there, get more sugar. You know, because sweet is sweet. But it has its own side effect. I will not go much beyond the limit, but I know myself, I talk a lot. So you have to excuse me if I'm exceeding the time limit, but I want to take you to a journey which I started without knowing the subject 20 years ago, maybe more than that, 1997. Right? Nobody in India was trying to understand what is a nanotechnology. I'm one of those few lucky people who were not perhaps so intelligent to be, performing in the front line and was looking for how to make an impact, how to survive, how to say that I still exist. All those philosophy which you might be evolving even today. I was evolving after returning back from England. What is there for me in my country? I'm one person who walked into industry after coming from England with the same attire which I'm in today to a private company in Mumbai asking him to give me a job. And I was in England returned. And people were shocked that this is not the way to look for a job. I said, well, if they don't give and I keep waiting for the advertisement, I may end up in job of something else. So let me directly go and ask the industry owner, would you like to hire me? So like that, we ended up in a company in Mumbai. They were all happy and they were surprised. Perhaps they obliged me. I don't know what they did. They gave me a job. I found it very funny, perhaps, and very unusual. But I came that brought that confidence or that message from England, where in every bus stop this poster was there in 1993 that I will get a job with this kind of a gesture. Assuring, self-assuring that I will get the job. I realized that days that in England, 93-4, perhaps the job crisis was a big issue. I was not part of it, perhaps there, but I like that symbol. On every bus stop, I will see these people are trying to reassure that I will get a job. With that concept in mind, I entered up in an industry in Mumbai, and then they gave me a job. Wonderful. And that stopped me further because I still have one tentative offer to go back to England. And I was very keen to see that if I get a job, I don't need to go back. So there is some story. But then came a chance to work for the government because still there was a tussle, want to be a researcher. Industry doesn't allow you to do research. They mean business, money, and to be able to pay your salary. So they will have to do that. But I had something else in mind, so I thought, okay, let me go back to IIT Bombay. I went back to IIT Bombay on a contract assignment, and then became a scientist in some other places and landed up in Pune. I'm in Maharashtra since 1984. 40 years plus. I don't speak Marathi. Okay. And I tell often people that this is a wonderful place. I'm surviving on my own skills. Hindi, English combination. Nobody ever forced me or insisted me to learn Marathi. What a wonderful place, isn't it? But I still have some, lineage with Maharashtra because I'm from Bundelkhand. And Bundelkhand was dominated by Maratha Samraj for long enough to know the body language, to understand the attitude, to know the potential, to know everything. When I landed up in Mumbai, I didn't find any difficulty whatsoever. When I came to Pune, I had no difficulty whatsoever. I move around freely as good as I am a Maharashtrian person, but I speak Hindi. So of late, I started telling me people, do you know anybody who is a Maharashtrian but doesn't speak Marathi? So everybody will look each other. No, no, I don't know. I don't know. Maharashtrian means Marathi only. I say, I'm the one. I'm a non-Marathi speaking Marathi. In a way, you know. So the way to this is nothing great about it. It's a way to fit yourself into it. You see that kind of attitude fits you wherever you want to fit. So now I'll take you to a small journey. In 97, when I wanted to do the nanoscience and technology, people were ridiculing me. They ridiculed me. My own colleagues also, they were all young. Somebody in National Chemical Laboratory, somebody came to NEERI, somebody was in Nagpur University, somebody was in Pune University, somebody in other IITs. They said, what are you trying to do? This science will not grow in India. Something like that was whispering around. Although the bigger players were practicing perhaps, but they were not claiming to be doing nano. They were already bigger, successful scientists in the country, and semiconductor technology was growing. Research was growing there. Then catalysis research was going. A lot of composite research started. So a lot of fields were being practiced. Biotechnology was emerging, beginning to emerge, but they were busy with the name of the new field perhaps and publishing good papers and all. So I went to Government of India TST, submitting one proposal saying that I want to go for higher training in this field. Unfortunately, that application through the a scheme called Boys Cast, the better opportunities for young scholars or something. So my application was successful. So I landed up in England again in '98 for one more year to now learn specifically the nanoscience and technology. So the first mission in nano in India started in 2003, officially launched by the Government of India. But before that, people like me were fringe players playing the games and doing something there. So from there till today, little bit I will add to the latest. And this is a lot of innovation into it. Next slide, if you can take me. Should I take this? Yeah. This is the one. This one. So National Science Day, Sir C.V. Raman, he discovered some kind of, optics related invention he did, and therefore today great, science and technology is happening. Little bit I have taken from the internet only just to remind ourselves. Perhaps many of us know Science Day, very good, C.V. Raman sir. But you see, he was working somewhere in Calcutta and then he started doing something. Before that, he was also working in non-scientific field, and eventually he discovered that Raman effect, which is playing so much heavy role, this important role today, that a lot of new technologies cannot be realized without Raman effect. So this is the kind of the person he had. Unfortunately, after that, even today, many Nobel Prize did not come to India. Could have been when it was possible in such a raw situations, sheer intelligence perhaps, why it was not there later on. The gap is too big. Perhaps things have to go in the direction where the gap can be reduced. We are often talking industry, academia gap to be reduced. Here itself, the gap to be reduced within intellectual, allow them to practice the intellect. That also is a need perhaps, and I'm sure very many people must be there around the country and doing the thing. So here are something which are very very important things, like he was the fellow of Royal Society, he became the Nobel Prize winner, then he got a lot of medals. Once you have something new, obviously a lot of people will recognize you. So you can take the message from here that do something creative, do something extraordinary, so that people will definitely be forced to recognize you. You don't need to go to market yourself. People will come to you. So a lot of stories are there. Without going in there, let's go further. And this is very close to my heart. What is the meaning of this? Anyone can anyone guess this? Other than Professor Vaidya? You see, there are two groups here. One is a Nobel Prize in 2000 and another is a Nobel Prize in 2023. And this is the reason they got the Nobel Prize in 2023. And the material known as quantum dots. Right? What is the message I want to give you? I was supposed to be working with him in 1991, right? But 1990 rather. But before his letter arrived, I landed up in England. Okay. This is Professor Alan Heger. And then he offered me another opportunity in 1991, and I had some technical issue, so I lost the opportunity again with the same person. In 2002, he was given the, I think 2000 Nobel Prize was given to him on conducting polymers. Okay. Now, this was a group, of course. This fellow is from New Zealand and he is from Japan. So that was one thing I wanted to share you. Missing opportunity doesn't mean you cannot do it. I'm still here. Right? This fellow I met in 1999 in my second leg for 1 year in England while I was learning the nanomaterial. And I was working on this, and this topic or this material got the Nobel Prize to him. And we were together for 4 hours in 1999. Right? Had a nice cup of tea with another professor, discussing posters, listening to his lecture, and 25 years later, he is a Nobel Prize. So that kind of a connection I relate myself because it motivates me. I can be depressed also. Under the illusion that I lost 2 Nobel Prizes. They are not mine. But I get motivated to see that, wow, I was with him for some time and he won a Nobel Prize. It's a fortune that I was to be with them. Eventually, I met this gentleman in 2012 in Singapore, and I reminded him of my, not able to come to him, and he recollected. And he mentioned to me, you perhaps lost the golden opportunity. That doesn't make me any great, but good to feel that, yes, he is still recognizing that person who missed the chance. That is the kind of things which will motivate you all the time. Keep you motivated. Okay. So this is a subject which I started practicing in 1998 and I'm still doing it. We grew together because he was the early discoverer of the quantum dot, something called a free nanoparticle. I will come there in detail. And he did, the Nobel Prize is given to this group for making 10 to 20 grams of that material. Still, that is only about 10 to 20 grams. Because how much is needed for modern technology is certain parts per million, ppm level. So if you're talking about, nanogram level or milligram level, material to make one television, 10 ग्राम बहुत है, स्टार्टअप हो जाएगा, है ना? So like that, the world recognized his dedication for 25-30 years to practice from few milligrams to bring it to 20 grams. That means must be very challenging, very difficult. And I know it very close because I do every day. I have also developed some methods, but I never thought that they are so pure that I can use it and make an LED or make a television. So these are materials for that purpose. Right? Okay, so move further. This is what is nano. Everybody perhaps must be knowing, because all of you are science student, the nanometer dimension of a material, the smallest possible to the naked eye, perhaps even that is not able to see, microscope is required. So mostly, we are talking about 100 nanometer and below as a generalized definition to nanomaterial. The reason being that 100 nanometer and below only, the same material behaves differently. The same material can be called 1000 nanometer when it is 1 micrometer. Okay, but that is a sort of a tricky way of expressing. 1000 nanometer is a bulk material, or a very big material which have millions and trillions of atoms, and those are so compact that they have no freedom to perform, suppose. So when they are 100 nanometer, very less number of atoms now, and the atoms have become maybe 1000 number only. Instead of trillions of atoms or billions of atoms, there are now thousands of atoms. So that means in this room, if you are only 10 people, you can run around, and if you are now 200 sitting, it is little bit difficult to freely move around. So that is how the property has changed. So 10 people are able to run and 200 are only sitting. So the properties of those have changed when the number of people are less. Therefore, the number of atoms are less and the properties have changed. Eventually, the nano dimension properties started changing when it is 100 nanometer and below. So that is how the definition generalized is anything less than 100 nanometer can be termed as nanomaterial, nanotechnology. So this is something, and it can be in the form of films, in the form of liquid, it can be suspended. It is a material. It can be of anything, right? The periodic table, everybody knows. Almost all element other than radioactive element are synthetic other elements which are not naturally occurring can be converted to nano. So some part everybody practices, and therefore this field has emerged as a very front runner in the last 25-30 years. Let us go a little further to see the impact of nanotechnology in our lives. The tiles which you are seeing here, they have nanomaterial. The tiles on which we are sitting here, they are made of nanoparticles. Earlier tiles were mosaic tile. They were of micron size crust. So this is the impact. Wonderfully, they are glowing. The light is falling on it. The glow is there. And on top of that, the tiles are antibacterial. There are various qualities coming in the market. If you put little more money, you get antibacterial tiles. Most hospitals, modern hospitals, medical centers today have those tiles in the hospital corridors and rooms and everywhere, which are antimicrobial. And what is the material which I believe strongly is titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, or silver nanoparticle. So during the manufacturing of such tiles, they give some treatment or they make them as a part of the composition, and therefore they perform in that level. The coatings which we see here on the tables and all, they could be made of some polymer in which some nanoparticles are there, and therefore the coated tables and furnitures, they are all antibacterial, material. So the life has changed, and the latest emergence of nano and practice of nano we have all seen 5 years ago, when 5 years ago, what was the COVID-19? The COVID was such a disaster in our life, perhaps. And we should be very grateful today that we are here, all of us. Many of our friends and many of our colleagues and many of our neighbors could not survive. They left. So the COVID gave one side the toughest part of our life in this for our generation, perhaps, but it also created so many opportunities for us to look something new to survive. That gave enough confidence to the countrymen and the scientific workforce that we can change it. So sanitizer was born. Otherwise, ethanol was there with us all the time. Isn't it? We never bothered about sanitizer. Although hand washes and other things were there in the market. Some specific companies were having a specific product for different purpose. Maybe sometime the hygiene purpose, sometime the upper class culture purpose, sometime for other show-off purpose. All those things is a part of our life. It was never projected as a need, necessity. The sanitizer became necessity. Nobody, I still use it. It has become part of life now. And then came the mask. And the masks were antibacterial. A lot of people created in the laboratories, tested, and we survived. So what we saw during that period was use of nanotechnology from the small scale industry, from the laboratory to the big scale, the corporate world, branded companies, everybody was talking about nano-based product. Most of the products were nano-based, sanitizer of course. Not the drugs and all, drugs were a different one. But immediate protection came from nanosilver. A phenolic solution, the United Nations formulation was on the display on the internet. Everybody dug up, all scientific workforce, educated people how to make this sanitizer. And it was being sold in the market, I remember, 100, 200 rupee liter, 500 rupee liter, 2000 rupees for 5 liter, depending on where you are buying. God knows how much was the purity at times we doubted. But we used it. Chalega, kuch bhi de do, which should convince me that I will be safe after rubbing this liquid. But it gave the confidence that you can create products which are welcomed by the society because it is required. I cannot buy sanitizer from America when the whole pandemic environment is going on and we'll wait for some. So we created. So the necessity became, and then your invention which was there for academic purpose, otherwise became the product hot property. And many people started companies, they became rich and famous. So this is how nanotechnology has evolved in the last 25, 30 years. So if you look at energy and environment, the solar energy we talk about, silicon solar cell efficiency close to theoretical efficiency of about 33%. Solar light, say, electricity. 33% maximum perhaps it can attain to theoretically. However, critically something about 15 to 16%, 17% is still commercially possibly not viable. So the government says, I will give you subsidy. Please use it. थोड़ा हम support करेंगे तो green energy हो जाएगा. But commercially perhaps not viable. So emergence of nanoparticles of semiconductor leading to solar cell production or solar cell development, solar cell improvement, the energy and environment. Environment, lot of air pollution. Needy director farmer will know better than me. Everything is around us. We are struggling for fresh air. Right? We may admit, we may not admit, the human race has survived. We will continue to survive. Some unfortunate person will die. It's okay. It happens, it's a part of life. But Environmental problem can be tackled by nanomaterials, nanotechnology, by virtue of simplest of possible, put some polluted water and put some nanoparticles and throw some solar light into it, so it degrades, and the pollutant or the chemical, toxic chemicals, we all know, many of you will know photocatalysis, you will know the dye degradation. These are something which similarly air pollution can be tackled by different methods. And so energy and environment have been heavily enriched by nanomaterials. Information technology, not to talk about the mobile on your palm, your life is on your mobile. So all that is because of the nanomaterial semiconductor chip and associated technology, allied technology therein. And of course, food and agriculture, better crop production, better soil quality, and good quality pesticides, which are also part of the nanotechnology nowadays, and that is how you are able to produce better crop. I also did experiment with the Pantnagar University, Agriculture University, I think 15 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. Effect of silver nanoparticle on mustard's crop, and then 28% nearly crop was yield was enhanced in 2012, of which we took some patents and all that. But what it says that the nanoparticles which are nutrient to the plant, the soil become more fertile. So this is being practiced. I went recently to Baramati, and there were some wonderful incubation centers in some of the college or some center which is created by Maharashtra government in association with those local incubation center. And I was surprised that around 10 to 15 startups operating on agricultural product relating some to the nanotechnology, which is very good. I was asked to come there for some purpose, and they took me there. So I was impressed that nanotechnology in India is not only on table, it is growing. Industries are there. Believe me, in early days, silver nanoparticle, when I studied, I created a silver nanoparticle for my home use. Because I know they are antibacterial, and I know I'm using only 20 ppm. And then Chyawanprash when I'm eating, so that means I'm safe. Suppose, because I've been told that silver is in Chyawanprash, isn't it? Everybody. Or the sweets ke upar jo silver foils are something, Kaju Katli, very famous. So I don't know. This has to be taken as it is. But I created the solution, and I believe that I cannot eat it because I don't know. I have not done any clinical trial. So I cannot take risk with my life. So what I did was created, and I started using them as a disinfectant. So I will clean my washroom, clean my toilets, and put something, believing that bacteria will not grow. That kind of a belief will come when you have some knowledge and you have done some work. And I will now quickly take to the couple of more interesting slides for you. That means message is everywhere today you are with nanotechnology product. The cosmetics which we are using is full of nano. All of you, my ladies friends, gents friends, the cream, the powders, the nail paints, the whatnot, everything is with nano. TiO2 nanoparticle. The sunglasses. The Ray-Ban glasses are very popular. Rich people will buy. So why they are popular and very expensive? Because titanium dioxide nanoparticle is on your glass. It is filtering your ultraviolet light. And ultraviolet light is dangerous to your eyes. Wonderful people exploited that technology 25 years ago. And we never knew why they are so expensive. When I really tried to understand, I found, well, this is the reason. Otherwise, it is a plastic. So the value addition and a lot of money can be made out of only sheer modification of the product. So there are various ways to make nano. By this time, you know, nano is important. How to make nano? Little chemistry. 12th standard chemistry is very handy for non-medical and non-electronic nano. Because electronics need precision and medical science need internalization of the nano. So obviously, there different style of research is done, but for general purpose learning and understanding, 12th standard chemistry, physics, and biology is excellent tool to begin with. Reduction and oxidation of something, some element, some material, some salt, you create some nanoparticles by controlling their reaction rates, and then you can see the new behavior, and then the scientists will try to understand, can this new property be exploited for some application, and that is how the innovation steps are involved in the nanotechnology. So this is very popular. There are two methods. One is you can break down the bigger material to smaller, and one is you can create from the bottom, atom by atom. It's called bottom up approach, it's called top down approach. There are two popular approach. बड़ी चीज को तोड़ देंगे, छोटा होएगा, and छोटी चीज को धीरे धीरे grow करेंगे, and we can control where we want to control. So that छोटी को थोड़ा थोड़ा grow करने वाला process became popular because I can control it. So that has in like this, and I'll take you to little bit within the nano. You have 100 nanometer is a generalized statement, but then you have 50 nanometer, 60 nanometer, 30 nanometer, 20 nanometer. There comes a stage in a semiconductor that if you have less than 10 nanometer, then emerged a very different property. And that is because of something called in physics quantized effect. So therefore, the name came as a quantum dot because they were spherical particles. So the quantum dot is becoming now tool for quantum technology, which is emerging now, and Indian government has created 6,000 crore quantum mission. Now, who will play bigger role? With the knowledge people have, quantum dot. Fortunately, the prize, Nobel Prize to the quantum dot 2 years ago, quantum technology. So, which are the quantum dots which are very useful? Entire periodic table, there are various elements combination. Single material semiconductor is silicon, germanium, but 2-3 materials together can also become semiconductor, and then they can give better performance. So these are called compound semiconductors. And obviously physics people can have little more understanding and ease of, So one of the example I'll take you here is a typical example. Suppose this one. If you have this is a visible light wavelength. The sunlight has a wavelength of about 600 nanometer, 400 to 600, 800 nanometer, and 46% of sunlight, solar light has visible light. Can we utilize that effectively? And therefore, the nanotechnology quantum dot can become, tool for you to create new devices using solar light. Now, this is how it happens. If you new concept is that if you create smaller sizes, the new property will emerge. So, suppose the material is named as cadmium selenide, CDAC, or anything else. MX you can say, AB you can say, and if that AB initially of 10 nanometer size, it is giving you an absorption of light or emission of light about 500 nanometer, which is close to about green color. Suppose if you reduce the size, it can go to blue color, and if you increase the size, it can go to red color. So that means material remains same. Today I am smaller, so I behave like this. And when I become big, I behave like this. I correlate that as a you and me, like human being, a small child versus teenage versus adult, older people. So different behavior will emerge because the size has changed. Okay, so this then can be exploited, and therefore entire visible light spectrum can be created by virtue of manipulation of size. Size of what? The semiconductor. not the device, size of the material. Right? Semiconductor is a material. Semiconductor is not a device. Device will be created from that. So for the students, don't get confused. The nanotechnology is a beautiful field. It can be in electronics, it can be in chemistry, it can be in physics, it can be in biology. So medical science, general science, polymer composite, wherever you go, in every field now nanotechnology is playing big role. It has transformed our life and it is continuing to transform. Now it has entered the quantum technology. It was long due because quantum technology has an energy requirement and that is coming through qubit. Some computer science student will know qubit, right? Physics people will know qubit. So the qubit is nothing but source of this energy, and that is quantum dots. Quantum dots will give you qubit, and the qubit will run your machine. So the source of energy for quantum technology is this field. So obviously people are globally working on this, and in India also many people are working. Next is further one. Today's white light is a combination of three lights, three materials, blue, green, and red. Tomorrow's white light may be only single material. And that single material is such that it is higher end quantum dot. Quantum dot is about 10 nanometer, 5 to 10 nanometer, but this material is 2 nanometer and below. And where 1000 atoms go down to 30, 40 atoms. Now you don't have to worry how will I capture atoms and all. Everything is happening in beaker. That chemistry fellow is doing it. The big hype is created otherwise generally that it's very difficult and all those things. It is difficult for a purpose if you do. But generally to learn and understand, take a beaker and you can create all those magics in the laboratory. And magic cluster they are called because less than 2 nanometer, those particles are not supposed to stabilize in a regular structure. So people started believing, oh, this is kind of a magic coming perhaps, but there is other terminology, and popularly it became magic cluster. So the semiconductor magic cluster is able to give you the white light because there are a lot of less number of atoms, and because of that intrinsic defects are happening. So defects is causing the luminescence. Right? That's a basic luminescent property. The defective material is not useless. How beautiful is that? Defective material is not useless and correlate with our life. Many defective or handicapped people perform extraordinary tasks, and we all witness that in our society. So much so that Paralympics has started and they are outperforming the regular players. That means the importance of defectiveness. It creates new behavior, new property, and therefore new technologies. So the defective particles will give you white light. Now this is a single material known as CDAC. There are other materials which are also giving white light, single material. So tomorrow these lights, maybe 5 years, 10 years, will be made of one material. So that industry will further become revolutionized. Only one material you have to handle to create the same light, instead of multiple materials and multiple handling and multiple challenges. Like that, this is a little chemistry. I don't want to go in that. There's a kind of a reaction when you do, and then you analyze the material and all that. Okay. I am here personally done a lot of research in these things, and they can be differentiated between normal material versus the defective material by some UV visual spectroscopy and other spectroscopy as well. So this you can create different colors by taking different types of semiconductor and different materials. And this is a green color material created in my laboratory in Pune, and this is a behavior, and that is in water. This is in water, so it is useful for biomedical application. It can perhaps be utilized to identify the disease cells. They are called, there is a diagnosis which is happening through nanomaterial which are fluorescent. So instead of dye, let us use them so that they can emit brighter light and better diagnosis can be done. So that's how the biotechnology can be benefited, medical science is benefited, being benefited already through the quantum dot technology. Then of course one can play around and create more and more opportunities and then try to continue evolving nanotechnology. There is a problem. Okay. I will skip few slides and go directly to one more aspect of nano. These are some silver nanoparticles you can create by using simple organic compounds and some compounds, some chemicals, which can become reducing in nature. So you can create silver nanoparticle, and so much so that any plant you take and do the extraction while the plant in water, the leaves, the stem, the anything, and then put some silver nitrate or some silver chloride or some sulfate. That is having enough potential to generate silver nanoparticle. What is known as biogenic silver preparation or biotechnological method for silver nanoparticle preparation, which have a lot of other scopes. So they are antibacterial and they can be analyzed by this kind of spectroscopic tools. There's no need to go much detail. I'm just trying to say that innovation everywhere. You can vary quality of water, it will give different. It will vary the pH, hydrogen ion concentration, it will give different. If you put some additional compound, so much so that even the coconut oil if you put, it gives you different. If you put mustard oil, it gives you different. If you put almond oil, it gives you different. So that means tailoring can be done. The tailoring doesn't need to be stitching clothes. Here we do tailoring of behavior through chemistry. Okay. So like that, lot of things are possible through this. This is an orange peel. Orange juice we drink every day. And one fine day, one of my students says, "Sir, my projects are not going well. Give me some problem, and I'm in difficulty." So I say, "Okay, let us bring orange from Khanna Dam nearby." And she brought the one orange. So squeeze it. And it is not for drinking. Let us put that in water and put some silver salt and all. So finally, we made wonderful silver nanoparticle from orange juice. And we published the research paper also in Elsevier journal, which is Q1 journal. It is so beautiful research. The innovation can be, it's lying here and there. We are not visualizing. Everywhere there is an innovation. Creativity in your mind should be alive. So that means do little bit yoga. Right? But physically you have to be fit, healthy, to be able to think positively, to be able to think creatively. If you are looking at someone else's house, then things will not work. Look at your own house, be healthy, think positive, and kuch hoega. So this is how I keep doing creative research. And nothing goes waste. We publish paper, there are a lot of biochemicals here you see in the orange, which we drink. And these are all useful as antioxidants. So they are useful for making nanoparticles. Okay, another few slides only, and we will then wrap it up because they are having antibacterial, anti-cancer properties. So all these we tested with the Tata Memorial Research Center to see that how they are made and how much is the potential in diagnosing various cancer cells. Then there is another good problem, big problem for the society. The mobile towers, the mobile signals, the electromagnetic radiations, which we are going through, and it is affecting our health. Every day when we are sleeping, you see my mobile where it is. It is in the pocket. It is alive. It is working. There is a radiation. There is some energy which I don't want, and it is affecting me. it is affecting everybody. So there is a need to do research, and people are doing it. There is a technology also to shield the radiation, to block the radiation. So blocking radiation is difficult. So there is a research on electromagnetic interference shielding, and that is driven by a coating of your nearby area or the device by the material which can either absorb the radiation or reflect it, which is all around us. So there is a big research, and these nanoparticle boost that. If the micrometer particle is giving X value of blocking, the nanomaterial based material will give you X plus something 20, 30, 10X, whatever. So this is how it has become useful in such devices. So EMI shielding can be, conducting metal. Initially, metal plates were used to block the shielding, create the shielding. But nowadays, polymer composites are being used, and therefore polymer can be mixed with the nanoparticle, and then the coating can be created. The same coating, which is antibacterial, can become EMI active, because the need is it should be conducting. So if silver is antibacterial, but silver being a metal is a conducting, that can be useful for EMI shielding application also. So what is the beauty of nanotechnology? Same material for different applications, right? This is how the innovation can lead to the product development, and you can have your startups with the same material. Okay, so this is another one, and this is some science formula. You once you work there, you will get these formulas anyway. I will show you one example, and then where is the application of EMI shielding, because we know that protection of everything is required from the radiation. Then compliance is required, because when we are making the product, people would like to see whether it can block. Data security, particularly, a lot of data theft is likely in the time to come, so we have to protect. And then all kind of things, can be managed if the shielding is effective. This is an electromagnetic radiation tool. Let us not go. I will just take you to various examples. One is conducting polymer, polyaniline, very popular, polypyrrole, polyaniline, and these polymers are conducting in nature. The requirement for shielding application is the material be electrically conductive. So conducting polymer, when they come together with nanoparticle, can make more impact. Normal polymer also is okay, but conducting polymer can make more impact. And therefore, this research we did in the laboratory, I'm just taking you there to analyze and see the impact of this research on the. If you have one simple composite with polyaniline, it gives you -4 unit of shielding. But if it is added little bit of silver, it takes to -10. So what is the impact? Is the little metal nanoparticle can boost your EMI. With this example, I move further. There are a lot of other things. I think we will have to stop it, because too many things are not good in one day. Okay, so this further would have been photocatalysis and all kind of thing. So my message to all of you is, nanomaterial, nanotechnology is dominating. It is in practice. The products are in the market. I myself saw first product in South Korea in 2003, the nano shampoo, the hair shampoo. I was looking for some utensil in a supermarket, and it's like a DMart type, and there I saw one pouch, nano shampoo. So initially I said, what do I do with this? But finally when I read it, it's the same shampoo with silver nanoparticle. It was exciting for me, and I was appreciating at the same time, feeling very sad that we don't have any such product in India. maybe we didn't have the supermarket then. So how do I know that? Because all this supermarket concept started in 2000 plus. So visibility of the product was not there. Today it is all there because the display was not there. So nano shampoo, nano detergent, like very famous Lifebuoy soap, which is produced by Hindustan Lever, Unilever companies. अर्ली डेज लाइफ बॉय सोप है, जहाँ तंदुरुस्ती है वहाँ वो अपना एडवर्टाइजमेंट आता था, वो बैक्टीरिया किल करेगा, ये क्लिक करेगा. दे वर क्लेमिंग बिकॉज साबुन से आप साफ करोगे बैक्टीरिया जाएगा, ठीक है. बट टुडे द सेम लाइफ बॉय इज हैविंग नैनो पार्टिकल्स ऑफ सिल्वर. And Lifebuoy sanitizer also is available now. So what I'm saying is, with time, companies have evolved. The research has forced them to use this in product for betterment of society and human life because they are good products. So with this message to all the students, that think creatively and work hard and don't be fearful of failure. Failure के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी क्रिएट करो, फेल होने का चांस तो बनाओ. डोंट बी फियरफुल बिकॉज इफ यू डोंट ट्राई यू विल नॉट फेल. व्हाट पीपल से, डोंट ट्राई यू विल नॉट सक्सीड. आई एम सेइंग लिटिल उल्टा. ट्राई तो करके देखो, अगर फेल हो जाएंगे तो कुछ दूसरा रास्ता निकलेगा, ठीक है. सो विद दिस मैसेज, थैंक यू वेरी मच टू ऑनरेबल डीसी सर, थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी, थैंक यू टू thank you to visionaries. Thank you to visionaries. Yeah. It is reducing the sugar level. So thank you to visionaries of creating LITU, which has given me a chance to come here. Had LITU not been there, I would have not been here today. So grateful to everybody and so grateful for today to be here. Thank you so much. Say anything. If there is any question to anybody, you are free to ask me, or you can shoot an email or through the coordinator. I will be happy to answer.
As sir is dealing in the nanotechnology, I would like to thank you, sir, in a kind of different way. CU stands for copper, no. CU stands for curiosity. CR stands for chromium, no. It stands for creativity. And CO stands for cobalt, no. It stands for consciousness. So thank you so much, sir, to give us to tell us about your research and to encourage all the research scholars who are sitting here, and most of them are working in the field of nanotechnology. So thank you for encouraging us to work in this field. And now it's time to felicitate Professor Khanna, sir. I request Dr. Atul Vaidya, sir, to please present him with a shawl, shuffle, and memento. Thank you, sir. Somewhere I read that if you are not the part of steamroller, you are a part of road. We are indeed very fortunate to have our Vice Chancellor, who, despite running juggernaut administrative machineries, is here to give a presidential address.
So thank you very much. I think everybody is waiting for lunch, so I will not. My presidential address will be a VC's address, not too long. Just to pass on certain messages. First of all, I thank my colleagues, my friends, dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Anupam, Dr. Khanna. They're all visionaries, and I would like to mention one thing that Anupam said something about fitness in the beginning. If you go to seminaries any day in the morning, you will find Anupam running there. And one more thing, he has traveled by cycle from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And he has won the award. So he has all the rights to say and allocate fitness. So I know that. So I think I can only allocate, but I am not the right person. He is the right person to do that. And Professor Khanna is my friend also, very knowledgeable person in chemistry. And I knew him since my hostel days because he used to work in night. He can speak for whole day. I had to stop him in between because there are certain time limitations. One thing is that we are all, he never complained about the resources. I know him, he comes from a place in UP, he told, don't complain about the resources and the place from where you are, हम यहाँ से नहीं है, वहाँ से नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. If you have dedication, if you have some aims in your life, you can work miracles. Is a great example of that. So, friends, we are celebrating here two things. One is Science Day, and second is we are also arranging the Bahina Bhai lecture. So, a lot of things have been said about C.V. Raman, about Science Day. Many people still are under impression that it is C.V. Raman's birthday, which is not so. So it is the day when he discovered his Raman effect, which fetched him Nobel Prize, and to date, he is the only science Nobel laureate who got Indian science Nobel laureate who got Nobel Prize with the work he has carried out in India. So far. There are many Indians who got this Nobel Prize while working in USA, UK, or some other developed countries, but not in India. Number one. Number two, he was very intelligent student. He completed his BSc in mathematics and physics, everything, and he was having a very good job as an auditor in British regime, which could have fetched him good posts in life and pension and easy life. But he was dedicated so much to science that he was always looking for some institution where he could work on physics. And it so happened, they say, that while coming from Calcutta by some train, he just read a board of some science institute kind of thing, which were very rare in those days, before 1930. And he literally jumped out of the railway and entered from the back gate of that institute and met the, like Professor Khanna said, directly went to the कि मुझे job दो करके. Like that, he went to the main scientist there. He said कि you are already in good job. हम तुमको क्या देंगे भाई, तुम्हारे पास कुछ हम पैसा भी नहीं, साइंस को करना. He said, I want to work on science. That's the dedication. उसके बाद Raman effect in Indian conditions in those days. Now, irony is that he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1930 for Raman effect. First Indian Nobel Prize in Science. Still, in 2024, there are hardly one or two companies who have made Raman spectrometer in India. All Raman spectrometers are from foreign countries, from the abroad. This is the gap between science and technology. And in the same year, 1930, we have a visionary called D. Lakshmi Narayan, who supported all his money, supported university with all his earnings throughout his life for the technological institution. You see the vision. Same year, we got the best prize in the world for science, but still we are struggling to develop a technology and we are lacking in engineering, because on the same Nobel Prize, Raman effect, we are still struggling to make a good spectrophotometer based on Raman effect. And nowadays, those who are working on microplastics, they know that without Raman, they cannot actually measure the concentration of microplastics. Raman spectrometer has become very important thing in laboratories nowadays. Still, we are getting it. A good quality spectrometer is from abroad. It's important. That is the gap which we have to fill. It's not only the Science Day celebration, not to remember Raman, but also to realize the gaps India has or Indian talent has. We are still lacking in engineering, converting science into a useful technology and product and making it a manufacturing kind of thing. And we are blessed with a good number of engineers. So friends, this is the day you remember that you have to be dedicated to science. You have to develop your skills as engineer and technologists, convert that science into engineering and technology. That is the only way we can fulfill the vision of D. Lakshmi Narayan. If LIT produces Indian manufacturers, if LIT produces a good manufacturing engineering, not IT people going into service sectors, but the real core hardcore engineer, and we help Vikasit Bharat in 2047 with Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbharta will only come when you are good into manufacturing. And that is the way LITU has to develop themselves to get into the manufacturing, develop science, technology, and engineering and India. That is the message we should take on this day when we are celebrating Science Day. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for putting such right questions to our minds. Now it's time for one more exciting part of this today's event, the prize distribution ceremony for the Science Talk competition, which we held on 4th of March 2025. It's been held in two different categories. One was for undergraduate category and second is postgraduate and research scholar category. Each category has two prizes. First, we'll proceed with undergraduate categories. In undergraduate categories, second prize goes to Bhakti Deshmukh from Oil Technology. Thank you, sir. Any guesses for the first prize? She's a girl from Surface Coating Technology, Trisha Ghosh. Thank you, sir. Congratulations to the winners. Moving on to the postgraduate and research scholar categories. Second prize goes to Komal Gurnani from MSc Biochemistry. And first prize, again, any guesses? Yes, it's from Department of Biotechnology, Miss Drisha Jain. Thank you, sir, and many, many congratulations to winners again. Thank you all for Now, lastly, I would like to request Dr. Khati sir for his to deliver his closing remark.
So good afternoon. I would like to thank today's chief guest, Dr. Anupam Agnihotri, Director JNRDC, for sparing his valuable time and giving guidance to our students related with the Vikasit Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat, along with the what is most important takeaway for us, that the fitness is very important for doing anything. And he is personally so fit that we have to take inspiration from him, and he is continuously working from so many years in JNRDC, and he has taken JNRDC at a particular height in India. So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance to our student, and we look forward to have cooperation with the support of our LITA, Alumni Association. We are also having an incubation center. So we are looking to forward for any type of startups incubation with your kind cooperation in our university. So thank you once again. I would like to thank from bottom of my heart to Professor Pawan Kumar Khanna, who has come from Pune to give a D. Bainabai lecture series, and he has given particularly on nanomaterials, which is a burning topic, and he has given so much insight to the nanomaterials in various fields, how that nanomaterials is applicable with giving certain examples. Even he has given the example of orange juice, how the silver nanoparticles that are manufactured. And we are, sir, in our university, so many professors, students, they are working on the nanomaterials. We are definitely requiring your help, guidance in our future endeavors. So thank you very much for giving so much nice address to us, and looking forward for your kind cooperation in future. I would like to thank my beloved Vice Chancellor, who is always supporting us, and he has decided in the month of January itself that we will call Professor Khanna and Professor Agnihotri on one occasion. So we had decided that we will be having a D. Bainabai lecture series and National Science Day. On that occasion, we will invite them if they are, and we are very much thankful to both of you. And I am also very much thankful to Professor Vaidya for giving us opportunity to organize such nice lecture series, such nice address. So we are definitely proud to be a part of this National Science Day celebration as well as D. Bainabai lecture series. So thank you very much for your kind support, sir. I would like to thank Professor Shanware Madam and Saurav Zogrekar, who are the coordinators and co-coordinators for this particular event. They have organized very nicely. On the 4th of March, they have organized the event of Science Talk, and today the prize distribution has taken place. So they have taken a lot of efforts along with the other faculty members. So I would like to thank both of you and also all the faculty members. Here I would like to special mention of Mr. Anantraji Kamtikar from Rao Bahadur T. Lakshminarayan family, who is always supporting us and present for the events of the LIT University. So thank you very much for your gracious presence on this particular occasion. I would like to thank our LITA executives, and particularly today, Shri Madhavji Labhe and Ajayji Deshpande, who are prominently present over here. For this particular occasion. The LITA is one of the alumni association in our country, which is supporting, and not only supporting but taking part and helping us in a lot of endeavors. So we are very much thankful to you, sir. I would like to thank the judges who has helped the organizers of this particular event from bottom of my heart for their kind support and cooperation. I would like to thank all the students, participants, and all my students who are always here for taking part in such type of the innovative activities. And we are always get inspired by such luminaries, those who are present over here, and definitely you will take inspiration and you will do certain innovative things for this particular country. I would like to thank my all statutory officers, head of departments, and the faculty members, as well as the non-teaching members who are always involved in organizing such type of the event. So thank you very much. And I would like to thank the student organizers who have taken special efforts for making this grand celebration of National Science Day on the 4th of March and today also. So thank you very much. Again, thanks to all those who have supported this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. This brings us to the end of today's event of National Science Day 2025 and the Bahinabai lecture series. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our all dignitaries, speakers, awardees, and participants for their contribution. Thank you once again to everyone, and let us continue to celebrate and advance the spirit of science. With this, I request everyone to rise for the national anthem. I request all the students to please stay back here and dignitaries to please join us for the refreshments in the conference room.